Joining us now, Texas Republican Governor Greg Abbott. Governor, welcome back to Fox News Sunday. We'll get to the border in just a minute, but we want to start with that tragic shooting.
Well, Shannon, obviously this is just devastating. Texans are hurting today, and the people who are hurting the most, obviously, are the families of the victims, families who've lost a loved one, families who have a loved one who is injured. And our main priority right now is to help and support those families in the Allen community. And I'll be going up to Allen later today to begin the process of providing hope and healing. But I got to tell you that there are questions that are lingering that the families want answers to. And that is, why did this happen? Why did the gunman do this? How did this happen? And I know that those families need an answer as quickly as possible. And then the last thing I'll tell you, and I just want to reiterate my gratitude and the gratitude of all Texans for the swift response of that police officer. You had just a single police officer who had to confront that dangerous gunman and did the right thing by taking swift action to eliminate the gunman. And we are grateful for that officer's heroism.
Absolutely, truly a hero, the very definition. As happens with these shootings, it almost immediately turns to the political conversation about gun reforms. One state senator pointing the finger at you and the GOP there in Texas, saying there are loose and dangerous gun laws. I want to put up a poll that we just had on possible gun reforms here in the U.S. This is just out from Fox News. When you ask people what they would favor, background checks for guns, enforcing existing gun laws, legal age to 21, requiring mental health checks, flagging people for danger to self, all of those score at more than 80%. Are there things that you would consider in Texas or that you think Congress should consider at a federal level along those lines?
Well, on the federal level, as you know, some laws were passed last year to begin to address this. At the state level, listen, this is something that we've been grappling with over the past year. And there are some potential easy solutions, such as passing laws that we're working on right now to get guns out of the hands of dangerous criminals and to increase penalties for criminals who possess guns. But Shannon, we need to recognize a reality. What we've seen across the United States over the past year or two, and that is an increased number of shootings in both red states and blue states. Shannon, we've seen an increased number of shootings in states with easy gun laws as well as states with very strict gun laws. I think that the state in which the largest number of victims have occurred this year is in California, where they have very tough gun laws, where 11 people died. And so one thing that we can observe very easily, and that is there has been a dramatic increase in the amount of anger and violence that's taking place in America. And what Texas is doing in a big-time way, we are working to address that anger and violence by going to its root cause, which is addressing the mental health problems behind it. We know that Texas had been lagging in addressing mental health for years, and that's why over the past 3 sessions, we've added almost $25 billion to address mental health. We're in the waning days of a session right now where we will be adding even more funding, about $3 billion, to address mental health needs in the state of Texas, especially in rural Texas, and especially for children in schools. People want a quick solution. The long-term solution here is to address the mental health issue. And one last thing about this, Shannon, and that is it truly seems today that America is more divided than we've been in decades. And we got to find a way in this country where we can once again reunite Americans as Americans and come together as one big family. And in that regard, find ways to reduce violence in our country.
Yeah, I mean, there are certainly divisions over any number of heated topics, including this one. I want